welcome to my channel. You are all warmly welcome to this channel, and I'm so excited to be finally doing this, and thank you so much for clicking onto this video and taking your time out to watch me talk to you. This is just going to be an introduction video talking about who I am and what I'll be doing on this channel and what this channel is all about. Before I start talking about myself and who I am and where I come from and all that jazz, I just want to give you a quick summary on why I've made this channel. I really do believe that guards, judges, lawyers, barristers, solicitors, legal executives, policemen, they're not the only people who need to know the law. Just because they are in authority and they are, you know, quite superior to us on a legal form does not mean that they're the only ones that need to know the law. You know, lawyers in courtrooms with wigs on and the big, you know, cape and formal dressing, they are not just people who need to know the law, the inside and outside of law. Law is something that governs the state and the country. So us as citizens and human beings that live in the state and the country, we have a right to know exactly what they know, because at the end of the day, it's our human rights. At the end of the day, it's what governs you and me. So why shouldn't we know it as well? And in my opinion, law is not easily accessible, in my opinion. Before I started to study law, I didn't really know a lot about law. And in fact, focused. So before I started to study law, I didn't really know a lot about law. I felt that law was something that only lawyers needed to know. But soon I realized that law is something that we need to know. We are the ones that need to know the law because it's what governs us. Don't get me wrong, lawyers need to know their stuff because they need to be competent in their work. But you get my point. We need to know the law too. And that is why I'm here. That is why I made this channel. People I'm not privileged to go to university like I do and study law inside out and know, you know, rules and regulations and, you know, the legislation. However, I have that ability, and why not share it with you guys? Why not share it with you with people who would probably like to know? And even if you are not concerned or interested in law at all, it doesn't hurt watching these videos, and it wouldn't hurt you just grasping onto one piece of information. You never know when you might need it, honestly. Several people in authority and rulers in authority and dictators have kind of, you know, twisted the law to suit them basically. And I feel if you know the law, if you know what is true, nobody is going to come to you and tell you this so and so, yeah, but you know, it really means this, that means give me money. No, that's not the way it is. So once you know something, nobody can come up to you and tell you what it's not. So knowing the law gives you confidence, I feel. I mean, ever since I started studying law, I kind of gained this confidence about myself. It's like, listen, I know you're a guard, but I know what I'm talking about too. A bit about myself. My name is April Amai. I am a law student. I don't want to give my age, but I'm no less than 18 and I'm no more than 21. I am originally from Nigeria, so I've spent most of my life and my years living in Ireland. Ireland is a small teddy bear on the map. I live in the capital city known as Dublin. Ireland will always have a really special, you know, a really special place in my heart. I always feel that where you grow up, you kind of get so attached to it, and I've really become so attached to Dublin. But I don't think I will live here forever. You know, I want to kind of explore the world and see what it has to offer me. If I'm being honest with you, I was scared. I was so scared picking law. I was like, okay, if I pick this, okay, I'm gonna have to know all the cases that have ever happened in the world. I won't be able to remember it all. That is not it at all. If you are thinking, if you're going into university and thinking, should I study law, should I not? I would really recommend it, because I came in really nervous, not knowing what was gonna happen, and I found out that it was actually okay. It is so interesting. Just a bit about my personality. I'm very friendly, even though I say it myself. If you were to approach me, I would not like look at you like, who are you? No, I wouldn't be like that. I'd be so open, friendly, and sometimes, you know, I'm kind of shy at first. I think that's pretty normal for anybody who you meet firsthand. It's a good thing when we grow to a stage and we've reached a stage where we recognize our talents. I sing a lot. I sing every Sunday in my choir. I sing a lot of lead vocals, and yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself. I love to draw a lot. I also do hennas. I also love to act. Like, I just love the way that I have the ability to kind of make myself someone that I'm not. I take part in every single Christmas school play. So that's really about me. I'm gonna get back to the channel. I must stress, I don't know everything about law. I'm just starting out, and I feel me doing this is going to even help me know more about law and help you as well. I have so many friends who ask me different questions about the law, and it's really, the law sector seems to be something that's quite hidden for some reason, and it is. So I think this is a great idea, and I hope you guys benefit from this. This channel will consist of different topics and issues. You know, one day I'll be talking about criminal law, the next day I could be talking about constitutional law, the next day I could be talking about the law of torts. I know some of you guys may not even know what I'm talking about, but don't worry, I will explain all in my next few videos. There will be some quite, you know, sensitive topics that may not be suitable for younger viewers. I will say that before I do start the video, but I do think that they are really important, and not a lot of people like to address them because they are so sensitive. But I think it's important for us to know what information about them, so we are educated, and it's better to know than not to know, in my opinion. I'll be talking about real life cases that really did happen. Some are really funny and some are really distressing, so I will say that. Also, this channel will consist of statements, and statements are where you guys send in your personal views on a certain topic that I'm addressing on that day. So, for example, this is an introduction video about law. I already have a statement in sent by one of you guys, and I will read that out. And yeah, so this video will involve you guys as well, and I will also be doing interviews. Depending on the issue that I'm addressing in that video, someone may be there, someone will be here, and I'll be interviewing them. They may be anonymous. I will say that they may be anonymous because the issue might be so dear to them, and so, you know, it may be a sensitive topic that they don't want to be known, and that is perfectly fine. You have the right to do that. But they still may want to give their own opinion and have their own voice be heard and have their say. I have my first ever statement from you guys, and I will read it out. Now, I must say, this person is a student. She is a girl, a female. She does not study law, okay? She does study something else. She doesn't study law. And she sent me this in, and this is her personal statement. My name's Sarah, I'm 20 years old, and I couldn't tell you one valuable thing about law. All you ever see on TV is no drinking and driving, and how harmful smoking is. I'm also Irish, and I think it's disgraceful that there are Irish people, and including foreigners, who don't know the codes and rules that run this country. Like, what even is law? What is the function of law? And what's this all about the court system? And why are there so many courts in Ireland? She's admitting that she is Irish and she doesn't even know the law of her own country, never mind foreigners. And that is the sad truth. And that's a bit, and you know, people wonder why so many crimes are being committed. So many people don't even know what the laws are surrounding that issue, surrounding that crime. Law is a system of rules which a particular country or community recognizes as regulating the actions of its members, and which may be enforced by the imposition of penalties or sanctions. Okay, that's the Oxford Dictionary's definition of what law is. Now, this is my personal definition of law. It's kind of simplified. Law are sets of rules and regulations that are legally binding and govern a state or a country. They govern us all, and they are legally binding, which means that if you break them, there are consequences enforced. They're enforced by people in authority. They're enforced by guards. They're enforced by judges. They're enforced by lawyers. What is the function of law? Okay, the three main functions of law is number one, believe it or not, law is there to maintain and keep control and peace in that state. Number two, law is there to protect your human rights and my human rights. As citizens, we all have fundamental human rights. As soon as you're born, you have human rights. Law is there to protect them and to criminalize, number three, to criminalize those who decide to break the law. Law is also there to work as a set of guidance for us, to tell us, okay, this is what is legal, this is what is illegal, so this is how you should probably act, unless you do want to end up in prison. Okay, so you also asked about the courts in Ireland. I will do another video explaining in depth about the Irish legal system and the Irish court system. But in a quick summary about the Irish court system, number one, the Supreme Court. Number two, the Court of Appeal. Number three, the High Court. Number four, the Circuit Court. And number five, the District Court. It's really important to also remember that the Court of Appeal, which is right after the Supreme Court, was recently introduced to the Irish court system. It used to never exist, but there was a demand for it, and I'll explain that in the next video. So it's also really good to remember that the High Court changes its name to the Central Criminal Court when it's hearing special cases about crime. Circuit Court also changes its name to the Circuit Criminal Court when it's also hearing special cases about crime. We also have so many courts because they all have different functions and they all have different levels of power. For example, the Supreme Court has more power than the District Court. Remember, the District Court is the last court. So the top court is the most significant and the most important and here's the most serious cases, and the bottom court, in this case the District Court, has less power than the Supreme Court. It's also good to remember that the Supreme Court has the power to strike down rulings that the lower courts have made. Let's say a case is brought to the High Court. The judge in the High Court makes his final verdict, etc. The plaintiff and a defendant have the ability to appeal, which means they want to go again and, seek for another verdict because they're unhappy with what the judge decided. You're able to appeal. Let's say they appeal somehow to the Supreme Court. So their case is brought to the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court has the ability to analyse the judge's verdict from the High Court. And if the Supreme Court is unhappy with what the High Court decided, they have the ability to strike that down and cancel it basically and say, nope, we want to decide something different. Okay, so that's kind of all I'm going to talk about with courts. That's it for today. That is all I'm going to be talking about today. This was an introduction video and also a little bit about law and a little bit about courts. But stay tuned for my next videos because they will be lit. On a serious note, I really just want to say I am so happy that you took your time out to click on this video and to watch my first ever video. I really do appreciate your love and your support. I really do appreciate it if you guys continue to support me on this journey, and I hope we do grow together. I will see you guys on my next video. You can follow me on Snapchat, a.lamai, and you can also follow me on Instagram, at aprillamai. I will be keeping you guys updated for my next video. I will be telling you what the topic is about, so you guys can begin to send me your personal statements, and you never know, they might be picked. So don't forget to subscribe and like, and you feel free to leave comments below. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. I would like to introduce you to my puppy Lucky. Say hi. Hello. She's camera shy right now. Bye guys.
See me sola, chuma ba mi lole, see me sola, chuma ba mi lele. She like no, yeah, yeah. She dey feel my flow.